Hey, welcome back. As I said, I'd be making these videos about life and the new paradigm where we're entering into the collective conscious, the Christ conscious becoming available to us all, and just the whole world is the vibration is raising. Things are not the same. Last video I talked about where we came from, who we are. We're creators, part of the creator. Just want to quick mention the creator really wanted to press home to me to mention this. In addition to what I talked about of creation, is he wanted me to say, think of it as a, and I'm sure you've heard this from somewhere else, so you may be not hearing anything new, but this is my interpretation of what I was told. Think of a piece of energy, a ball, a square, a cube, about a chunk of energy. And the creator, that's the creator, all it is all it was. That chunk of energy was the creator. So in order to experience himself, he had to look back at himself. In order to do that, he had to divide himself. So he said, think of it as taking that piece of energy and cutting it in half, and then cutting those two halves, and cut it and split it, and just to keep splitting it. So that's what he wanted. So for people to understand, how is it that I'm part of God? How is it I'm part of the Creator? He split himself up into, an infinite number of pieces. I say infinite because I don't know the number, and it's not really important, but it's a really high number. And he split himself up into these many, but remember that he split himself up. And so there's a part of the whole in every piece. Essentially, so whether you like it or not, you are part of the one. Hence, you'll hear, I may talk about that in another, the law of one, what is the law of one, and that's basically what the law of one is. Anyways, deviating off why this video is why I'm creating this video. This video is about the first step in your spiritual journey, from what I see, and from what I've learned in recovery, in the 12 steps of recovery, and in spirituality in general. This is and I'm going to say this right out. How many of you can honestly say that you love yourself? Probably not many. In fact, it's the hardest thing that any of us, most of us, most of the people I know anyways, just can't love themselves. It's the hardest thing. We will do whatever we can to get other people to love us, but the thought of loving ourselves is somehow foreign. Now that's something that you, if you're listening to this and you're hearing this, that's something that you seriously need to think about and to deal with, because it's not all right. It's not okay for you to not love yourself. It is so important, so important. I guess what I'm going to try and do is explain why it's important. Is because there's really no one else that you can count on to love yourself but you. Essentially, we have no control over anything. We have no control over people. We have no control over places. We have no control over things. We may think we have that illusion if we have enough money and power, but inevitably, there's nothing for sure. You've heard of Murphy's Law. If anything can go on, it will. Well, that's a really negative way to look at things. But what I'm trying to say is, when you put all your marbles in people, places, and things, your happiness and it's not secure. Your peace is not secure. So you have to bring, where do you need to put your happiness? Where do you need to put all your marbles? Where do you need to start? Where do you start? Well, you start within. You. Yeah, you. The one that none of us ever think to look inside. We never think to look inside for who we are and who we really are. We don't want to look. For years, because of my active addiction, I didn't want to look at me. I really hated me, and suicide was seriously an option many times. And when I did clean up, it was on the table. And it seems to be, when you don't love yourself, it's easy to go, fuck it, I'm just going to end my life, right? But unfortunately, when you think that way and you live your life that way, how you see yourself is exactly how you see every single person around you. Your vision of yourself is the same window as to that which you see the rest of the world. And that's a fact. If you don't trust yourself, likely you're not going to trust anyone else. If you don't love yourself, how can you truly love somebody else. If you don't know how to love yourself, can you? You may have an idea of it. But really, if you don't love yourself, you cannot truly love another. It's just a fact. And you can simulate it or sugarcoat it any way you want. But these are realities, right? And I was talking to someone the other day, and I said, you really have to learn to love yourself. I think it's so important. It's one of the most important things you'll ever do. I said, well, yeah, I will, but I just got these other things to do, and I'm going to read this book, and I'll be on that one for 2 months, and this one 3 months, and then he said, I'm probably 6 8 months. I'll be able to squeeze in some time to really focus on loving myself. And it was like, really? I mean, that is messed up. And if you think that way, that's not okay. I mean, hey, we all have our own will, and if that's what you choose, that's what you choose. But it's not healthy. You need to love yourself. Think of yourself when you come on the spiritual journey. I'm sure many of us who's watching this have seen The Matrix, the movie. And when he comes in, he takes the red pill and the blue pill. Well, basically what you've done is you've taken that red pill. And as you walk this journey, your life will never be the same because it's not what you thought. You are not who you thought you were. You are so much more and so much greater. You're part of something way bigger. And you're an eternal being, essentially. You are an eternal being. Anyways, getting me off track. Another reason to love yourself, right? A lot of us that don't have the problem, but now that you understand who you are and what you are, and you're a part of something greater, and if you buy into that, then we can carry on. Because if you don't buy into that, as I move forward and give this information to you, it's not going to sit well and it probably won't work, and it may bring about fear. And if anything brings about fear in you, that is exactly the opposite of what I'm trying to do. So please, change this channel, turn me off. It's not what the objective here is. The objective here is for you to love yourself. And anything that promotes fear is the exact polar opposite of that. In my spiritual walk and what I will share with you, there's only two emotions, fear and love. Everything else is all the other, they're derived from those two basic emotions, fear and love. Hence, it's so important to love yourself. You're the cornerstone. Okay? As you walk into spirituality, you think of it as you're gonna. Okay, the term you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. That's a good one because you don't want to enter into this and go, oh my God, the world isn't what I thought it was. You just got to start over, dig a hole, or you don't want to have. You want to get scared and get carried away. It just is, right? So you gotta accept the fact that you're on a journey, and loving yourself is one of the key parts of that journey. Now, if you embrace yourself as part of the whole, there's no reason not to love yourself because you are a part of the one, and essentially, like I said, a wave in the ocean, in the big ocean, the crater being the ocean, and you're a part of that. So there's no reason not to love yourself. And I guess what I'm trying to get is you're going to restructure, you're going to start to rebuild your house. But you're not going to tear it all down. You're just going to replace the parts that need to be worked on. And as you walk this path and as you start to develop your relationship with the Creator, God of your understanding, and to me it's the Creator is within. So I develop that relationship. I talk, I meditate, and that's part of this journey too. But you need to find ways. And ways to learn to love yourself is to quiet, go within, meditate. It's a big one. Meditation is how you discover yourself. It's how you learn who you are. And as you take this journey of spirituality, it's likened to rebuilding your house. Now but you're definitely replacing the cornerstone. You're definitely replacing the cornerstone. Now, if some other bricks and wood and mortar are good, leave them. But as you start to grow spiritually, you're going to replace the stuff that doesn't serve your house anymore. And as the foundation being is your knowledge and who you are, and to love yourself. That is going to be the cornerstone of your house. That is going to be the cornerstone of your house. And I was reminded before I started this video to say this, and the love that you withhold from yourself is the love that you withhold, that you carry it with you. That same love that you withhold from yourself, you carry that with you over your incarnations, right? So it's not, what I'm saying here is not, oh, there's only a couple of people that don't love themselves. No, half the probably there's 90% of the people in the world don't love themselves. I don't have exact numbers, but I know a lot of us don't love ourselves. And that's the struggle. Why don't you do stuff for yourself? Well, you're not going to do something for yourself if you don't love yourself. So, I mean, this is grassroots basic spirituality. I don't know what you got to do, but you got to figure out how to love yourself. There's no reason for you not to. And in the Creator's eyes, you've done nothing wrong. There's nothing for you to be guilty for. You make mistakes. Those mistakes in the Creator's eyes are fixable. When your child, for those of us who have children, when your children does something wrong, even if it's something horrible, you gotta, send them. You're not gonna disown them. You're gonna still believe in them. You're still gonna, and if you disown them, that's because of your lack of love for yourself. But if you have love for yourself, you would never disown your child. You would never. You would see to it. You would correct them. And that's how we are as we go through this. So please don't think of anything that you've done in your life. Anything that you've done in your life. As I said in the first video, there's nothing that you could possibly do, nothing that you could possibly do to separate you from the love of the Creator. Nothing. Nothing. Your divinity is intact. You're part of the One. You can't be not a part. You don't have to fear anything. Your experiences bring you to these points where you make mistakes. That's part of it. We chose to come here. Remember, we chose to come here to experience. So you can't come and experience love if that's all there is. Because how do you know it's love? You can't come to experience, money. Oh, I want to experience money. Well, you can't come and experience money unless there's extreme poverty, the polar opposite. Because what would that be if everybody's rich? You would experience nothing. So in this world is opposites. That's how it was designed. We agreed it. We agreed upon it. We're in on it. And it's plain as the nose on your face. It's a relative world. We can't experience the things that we came here to experience unless its opposite exists. So the reason I'm telling you this is because it's very important for you to understand that there's nothing that you did in your past that you can hold against you other than you're the only one holding it against you. So the thing keeping you from your peace to start growing spiritually is yourself. And if you can understand that it's you that's holding you back, it's you. All you got to do is say, okay, I love myself. Go in the mirror. I do a lot of mirror work. I go in the mirror and I say, I love you. I have discussions with myself because the Creator lives within me. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm having a discussion with the Creator. And it's building up that relationship and then loving myself. And when you learn to love yourself and you get on board with that and you embrace that, your life will change dramatically. Dramatically. Because everything that you do is evolved around how you see yourself. Right? Things will change. Trust me. Things will change. Anyways, I will keep carrying on and with the rest of what I need to tell you, but this video is mostly about you. It's very important for you to love yourself. Extremely important. The most important thing you'll ever do. Because if you can't love yourself, you'll never be able to truly love another. Right? And there's no reason. The Creator loves you. You're the most special thing, entities around. I mean, I'm sure you can't possibly think that we're alone. But there's entities right now, around us, around this earth, because they know that we are Source incarnate in flesh. They know we're Source incarnate. Everybody wants to see what happens with Source incarnate. They want to see us come into our Christ itself. They're stoked, right? They're stoked. They want to see this. And maybe they don't think it. I don't know what they think. But anyways, they have a great deal of respect for us. And yet I think they can't understand why we don't have any respect for ourselves. Anyways, this isn't about aliens or other beings or anything else. This is about spirituality and the new paradigm that we're going into. And part of this, part of this is you learning that you are the key to all this. You, because you're the one that's coming into your Christ consciousness. You're the one who's coming into, and I say Christ consciousness. I don't know if I mentioned that, but when you come into your Christ consciousness, it's a collective conscious in outside in the quantum field. Even the scientists are tying into that right now and discovering the quantum field isn't what they thought it was. They're discovering that it's alive and living, and when they send information to the quantum field, it actually sends back answers that they didn't even ask for. So it's alive. It's alive. Science is starting to get in line with spirituality. Even science understands that we all came from the one. We are one divided infinite. Even science is on board with that now. So let go of the old, embrace the new. And part of that is you definitely have to love yourself. Key. Forgive yourself. Love yourself. Ways to forgive yourself? Time. I find that if you don't go within, you go without. As we go through, and all those things that you feel that you don't deserve to love yourself for, look at those. Understand them. What I'm learning now and what I'm realizing is as I go forward, I have to go forward as a whole person. I go forward as the light, the yin and the yang. I know you've seen the yin and the yang. I go through as a whole. That means the dark and the light. I can't separate myself. The darkness is as much a part of me and you as it is the light. Because without the darkness, you have no reference to the light. That was how we were created. We were created in the yin yang. That's a sign of basically how everything works. Opposites within. But it's the dance. It's learning that dance to embrace, your darkness because of where it brings you to where you're at. Without the darkness, there is no light. It's learning to understand our darkness, to not hate it. And that's really key too, is as you go forward and you're learning to love yourself, understand this. That which you judge, you fear. And that which you fear, you cannot love. So every time you're out there judging yourself, remember, it's going to make it really hard to love yourself when you're judging yourself. You're not qualified to judge yourself. You're not. You're not qualified to judge yourself on that level. You could say, yeah, I made a mistake, but you don't have the right to judge yourself eternally to that level. Right? I mean, you can claim it, but why would you want to? The Creator sees you as making mistakes. That's it. Fix the mistake. Once you understand that you're responsible for everything, and that's the big thing, is when you embrace your darkness, you embrace the yin and the yang, then you understand that you're whole. And you embrace both of them. And as you embrace both of them, you come into wholeness. You come into wholeness. You come into the one. And that's what this is all about. Coming into the one. Being the one. And being the one is embracing all of us. The light and the dark. I could keep going on, but I find I will just go off track. This video specifically was about learning to love yourself and how important it is. Now, learning to love yourself, like I said, there's different ways, but the key is to find those areas. I don't know, we're all unique and we're all individual. Find that area that's keeping you from loving yourself. Find it. It's the key to your success. It's the greatest thing that you'll ever do. It'll heal you. It'll set you free. And everything we do is about setting us free because we've become in such bondage in this world to fear-related things. Fear of this, fear of that, fear of this. We're walking balls of fear. But that's okay. That's who we were It's not who we want to be. The Creator did not give you a spirit of fear. He gave you a spirit of love and of power and of sound mind. Know that. Know that. Walk in love, walk in peace. I love you all. I love you all. May my peace be your peace. And I don't know what I'm going to do the next video. But it'll be soon. Okay, thanks.